Uh-oh, guys, look at that. SoFi stock starting to move, and the markets are moving up as well. We have the Russell up 0.7%, and the Nasdaq's up a whopping 1.4% as the S&P's up 0.6%, and we have the Dow up 0.4% as the VIX is down another 4.5%. And SoFi stock right now is up 2.3%, which we'll talk about now. So let's just dive into it. If y'all find value, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. And of course, don't forget to sip your coffee, because what's life without some coffee, especially in the morning, guys? And if you want some free money, get up to 15 stocks from Moomoo. Link down below. And now let's dive into it. So before we break down the markets, the Russell, the Nasdaq, the S&P, the Dow, which again, all of those are doing very well right now, let's take a look at SoFi stock and see what in the world is going on here, because it is starting to break out, at least here on the 5-day chart. And on the 4-hour chart, which we'll look at in a second, it's almost there, but not fully there yet. But we're showing baby steps here, guys. Baby steps, which is a good sign, which let's get into it. So SoFi right now is up 2.2%, roughly 12 cents, which isn't much, but it's green. It's in the green right now. And the thing that I want to talk about is, number one, we're getting close to $6. That's a big technical spot. And number two, we're slowly starting to take out the highs. One of the highs from yesterday. You guys can see here on the 5-day, 5-minute, if I zoom in a little bit on SoFi stock, we hit about 595 at about 1:30 p.m. on the East Coast yesterday, roughly 590, 595, and we're slowly starting to take that level out. And yesterday, I'm not sure if you remember, but we hit over $6 a share, 607 to be exact, in the pre-market. Then we ended up collapsing. I mean, this thing did take a bit of a cliff dive there in the morning. It went from 607 down to about 567. That was a drop of 6.5%, but it did recover heading into close, and now again we're starting to break out of that one high, at least one of the highs from yesterday being about 590 to 595. That's a good sign overall for the bulls. And another good sign for the bulls here on the 5-day, 5-minute is the fact that we've slowly been crawling out of this hold. You guys see all these higher lows that we've been making over the last couple of days? That's what I'm noticing right now on this 5-day, 5-minute. And we also have an inverse head and shoulders. If we're really nitpicking here, guys, we have an inverse head and shoulders as well on SoFi. We have the left shoulder right here. Boom. You guys see that? We have the head right here, then the right shoulder's forming. Let me actually draw it out so you guys can see it. Left shoulder, we got the head right there. Boom, you guys see that? Then we have the right shoulder, so that's starting to play out. And if it fully plays out, we're probably going to $6, $6.05, right by the highs from pre-market yesterday, which that needs to break. Honestly, guys, that needs to break. If you're a bull on SoFi, you want to see it break the highs from yesterday. So I'm going to set my alert at $6.10. Market is at or above, and we'll see where it goes from that point. And let me actually show you guys some larger time frames here before we talk about the overall stock market. You guys can see not only a 610 resistance from yesterday pre-market, but also from back in the end of March and the early days of this month of April. You guys can see we hit around 610, 615 multiple times back here. In fact, we actually triple topped essentially at that level, 615, 610. Then we ended up dumping back off. So that makes it an even bigger spot for the bulls. Let me set my alert there again. Market is at or above 610. So if this starts to take out $6, $6.10, $6.20, especially $6.30 now that I'm looking at it, that was the high from the 3rd of this month about 10 days ago, exactly 10 days ago. That's where we could really start to take off. And pulling up the 4-hour chart, guys, that's where we're going to start breaking out of this overall downwards trend that we're in right now, which you guys can see clearly. We do have, actually, look at this. We have a descending triangle forming on the 4-hour chart, which isn't the best sign for the bulls, but again, bulls have fight in them right now. They're fighting. They're up 2%, up to about 593. Let's see if we can get that full breakout. If we do start taking out this downwards trend line, the descending triangle goes out the window, and then we start legitimately reversing on SoFi and the inverse head and shoulders that we've covered before on the channel here, guys, which you guys can see it here on the 4-hour chart. This will start playing out if SoFi does start to take out that descending triangle, the top of the descending triangle, which is a big if. It's a big resistance, guys, it needs to break. So my alert's at 610. I'll set another one at $6.30. Let me do that now. Mark is at we're above 630, and we'll see if that reversal does start to happen. And mind you, we're right under the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart as well, which that's been resistance for a couple of weeks. So that level needs to break. And again, if it does, we could start taking off like no other. SoFi mid-6s towards the 7s, 8s. It's possible. And mind you, we have earnings coming up, which we will talk more about, as we do get closer to earnings, which are about 3 weeks, 3 weeks away from now on the 1st of May in good old 2023, which, guys, my birthday's in May, so I'm pumped for that, right? I'm pumped for that. So, SoFi, keep your eyes on those levels. It's starting to look pretty good as the overall markets are looking freaking phenomenal right now. Look at the markets, guys. If I pull SPY up, let's talk about SPY, Triple Q. Let's run through these, then we'll wrap up the video. And by the way, if you guys have not gone up to 15 stocks yet for Moomoo, use that link down below. Open up an account. You get 1 free share of stock. If you deposit at least $100, you get 4 more stocks, totaling 5 free shares of stock. And if you deposit at least $1,000 onto the Moomoo platform, you get 10 more stocks, totaling 15 good old free stocks, guys. So if you want some free money, you want to help out the channel, use that Moomoo link down below. It's greatly appreciated. And now let's continue on here with the overall markets, which right now, guys, SPY's at 410.50. It's up 0.6%, which is a very good sign overall for the bulls, considering if I pull this 5-day, 5-minute up, now we're starting to break past, or at least we're running to test the highs from the past couple of days, being about 410 to about 411. You guys can see if I just extend this or draw this trend line out, this is going to be a very big spot for the bulls that, to be honest, needs to break, because we've been kind of stuck in this range on SPY between 407, 406 to about 410, 411. So we clearly held 407 yesterday. We held it this morning as well. Now we're starting to run to 410, 411. Is this going to break? That's the million-dollar question. If it does, 413 is next. Then if that were to test and break, then we're probably going to start running to the the highs from February, which I believe were 415. We'll take a look at that in a second. So let me set an alert at 411. Mark is that we're above. I'll set another one at 413. Let me do that now. Mark is that we're above 413, and we'll see where it goes, guys, from that point here on good old SPY. Again, if it does break 413-ish, it's probably going to start going to 417, which you guys can see my alert. Another alert is at 417.50. If that were to break, now we're talking a legitimate, well, it's already breaking out above the moving averages, but a huge leg up could be coming if we do break 417.50 as well. And Triple Q, let me pull this up. Let's see what's going on. This is up 1.3%. Very nice day for Triple Q. After yesterday, guys, it got annihilated. I'm not sure if you saw, but yesterday we hit 320 in the pre-market. We got hit all the way down to 312 by the aftermarket, so this thing went down 2.3% pretty much from the pre-market to the aftermarket, and now it's just simply, yes, it's up 1.3%, which is awesome. That's dandy, right? But essentially, it's just recouping the losses from yesterday, and now we're pretty much back at square one to where we were, at close 2 days ago, which is right around, 315, 316. Sure, we're a little bit above that. We're at 317 now, but we're still pretty much, guys, just recouping the losses from yesterday, and Triple Q still trading in this range between 312, 13 to about 318, 19, 20. It's got to pick direction. I mean, at this point, clearly, we're starting to break out towards 320, but you guys know 320, that's a big level of resistance that needs to break. Will it break? I don't know. We can see right here, guys, we're still trading, again, in this range. If we break 319, 322 could be next. That's another big resistance. That needs to break. If 322 ends up breaking on Triple Q on the upside, that means we could be running 330, 335, maybe even higher. So let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments. What the heck do you think? I'd love to know where your head's at. And my goodness, does the VIX just keep on getting squashed, guys. The VIX is down another 4.5%. It's at 1822 right now, and it's approaching 17 points, which is the low, believe it or not, on this 4-hour chart. You can see the low is 1706 from back in the beginning of February. So the more and more the VIX comes down, the more and more I'm inclined to maybe take a speculative bet on UVXY, which we haven't talked about in a couple of videos here, but UVXY has gotten destroyed. Now it's at a fresh low. it's probably a decent contrarian bet at this point in time. I believe it's down 5.7%, and you guys know when the VIX is in the teens, it's prone to a spike, and it could come out of left field. We don't know exactly what's going to cause the VIX spike, but having a bit of a contrarian bet placed in my opinion, is not that bad of an idea, which is why I'm considering UVXY at this point with a little position, speculative side of the portfolio, same way as I'm treating, Bed Bath & Beyond, AMC, and all those stocks that we've been talking about here on the channel. So, yeah, UVXY, it's, it could be popping any minute now, in my personal opinion. And you guys saw Warren Buffett. He had a 3-hour CNBC interview, which I didn't watch it all. I actually do have to go watch all of that. I'm sure it's somewhere on YouTube. And he said that he doesn't think the banking crisis is over. He said that out of his own lips. He said he does not think the banking crisis is over. So if he's right, which he might be right. He's 92 years old, guys. He has a lot of wisdom. He's been through booms and busts, booms and busts, booms and busts. He's seen everything under the sun, at least in the financial markets, right? He might have some insight that I definitely don't have and that you guys probably don't have either. So if he thinks the banking crisis is not over yet, hey, that might cause more volatility, which, again, that could cause UVXY to start going ballistic. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe if you guys want to this channel and my second channel, Stas Talks Money, which, if you guys didn't know, I'm doing a $100 giveaway once we hit 1,000 subs on Stas Talks Money. So use that link down below. And don't forget to get up to 15 stocks from Moomoo. It is free money. You could also get 12 stocks from Webull, so up to 27 stocks, guys. Link down below. And you could also check out my Patreon if you're interested. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys later.